I'm in love with a fire slug. I'm in love with a princess. I'm in love with a royal fire slug. Yes, I am. Welcome back to Romance Original Sin. This is Archmage Raven, and we're right here next to our beloved Red Prince and his new consort, the Princess of the Fire Slugs. They are enjoying a romantic moment next to this charred corpse, apparently. Yeah, but to me it looks more as a fireplace. A fireplace, so I just stood here for a couple of moments, just taking everything in, the destruction and chaos we brought down upon the slugs. And yeah, it's romantic. Now that we're done being creepy. Okay, so guys, this is Archmage Raven. Welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2. We're continuing our story as the Red Prince. Please excuse the awful intro to this video, but yeah, so we finished everything that there is to be done in Fort Joy. There's nothing else to do. No quest, no killing left to do, no nothing. So we're pretty much done. One quick tip I want to give you guys up front is whenever you're in a place that you want to get out of and walking is simply not an option because it's too far away or whatnot, you can simply use the waypoint travel button up top here next to the minimap and just teleport to any known waypoint, anything that you've discovered so far, and you can teleport there. You don't actually have to be at a shrine to teleport, so just a quick tip. Now I've decided on how I want to leave Fort Joy, and we're gonna leave through this door over here. It's gonna take us to the port area of Fort Joy where there are some magisters, and as I've kind of made it a staple of the channel, we're gonna kill magisters pretty much in every episode, except in the episodes where there simply aren't any magisters to be killed. If not, maybe I'm gonna find like a cheat code or console something so I can spawn magisters in an episode in case there are none to be killed, just to kind of like, you know, maintain the trend. Yeah, so one of the reasons why I hate them so much is because within the story they create the silent monks. It's atrocious what they do. It's like they strip people of their souls and just leave them as empty husks. So I find that revolting, and I want to basically avenge them in my own mental way. So yeah, one quick tip, since I'm here and as you can see there are a lot of nails, always pick the nails up and make sure you collect each and every one, because nails are they're very useful for a number of things. So first, if you don't have an undead in the party like I do, like if you don't have a custom character or you haven't picked Fane as your companion or started with him, nails are one of the ways that you can create lockpicks. If you combine a hammer, let's see, one of these claw hammers with the nails, you can create lockpicks. Now for each set of nails that you combine, you're gonna get 4 lockpicks. I have not found it to be like a ratio system, like you don't get between 1 to 4, you always get 4. So it's a good investment, because as you can see, lockpicks are very expensive, so you can make good money out of them. And the other thing that you can do with with nails is you can combine them with boots of any kind, so any boots will work, at least to my knowledge, and it's gonna turn them into boots that are immune to slipping. So whenever you're fighting, I don't know, say something like a cryomancer, or you're in a place like there is a place in on the island somewhere over here, or next to this mysterious cave, there's a place where there's a dragon and there's ice all the way around, and if you have immunity to slipping, you won't have any problems navigating the area. One thing though, even though it's useful, I wouldn't recommend you do this in the beginning of the game. The reason I say this is because in the beginning, especially if you're in a party and especially if you have Lucky Charm, you're gonna end up having to switch gear a lot. So you're gonna find a lot of loot, you're gonna buy boots or whatnot, and it's a waste to have to spend a set of nails on each and every one of those boots. You're basically missing out on a lot of lockpicks, especially if you don't have an undead in the party. Later in the game, when you do find, let's say, a pair of boots that you know for sure are awesome and you won't find anything good for quite some time, you can then combine them with the nails. It shouldn't be a problem by then. Yeah, so apparently I engaged in combat earlier than I wanted to. It's a shame. Anyway, I wanted to start the battle over here. So yeah, that's one quick thing about nails. Use them; they're awesome, just like in real life. So let's see. Let's actually teleport her next to the Red Prince for some hammer action. And is there anything else I want to do? Let's buff up the Red Prince. He should do a lot more damage. I'm gonna haste myself now that Fane has a plethora of spells that he can use. It's more beneficial to have haste on him for that one extra action point, especially since the spell Worm Tremor costs 3 action points. Now, generally, and this I've seen other people online mention this, skills that have 3 action point cost are not worth it, and it's true considering the limited number of action points that you get, especially if you're not playing as a lone wolf. The trade of damage and whatnot for those types of skills is actually not worth it. You're better off just maybe saving that action point for the next turn than using it on that skill. Actually, on that note, if you take a look here, so this does 18 to 20. Yeah, it does entangle, I suppose, and it says it poisons, even though I've never seen it poison. I'm not sure. But look, this one has 2 action points, and it does double the damage. Like, I'm talking literally double. And it cripples, so it's simply not worth it. You can argue that, yeah, it turns them, like, it makes them they're immune to teleportation, but honestly, why would you even care? You're gonna use teleportation, use it, it's an awesome skill. So crippling them is much more efficient. Anyway, now that I've talked my ass off, let's actually fight. Yeah, so apparently I used Heart of Steel on myself, even though I wanted to use it on Fane. I'm not sure if you can use it. Yeah, so apparently the skill only works on yourself. Just know that that's the case. Now the reason I had 2 turns in a row is because I had the Red Prince in sneak mode when the combat was already initiated, so it kind of like overlaps somehow. I'm not even sure how the hell that works. Okay, now that we have flight, let's go over here. So I'm gonna try to like funnel them through this area so that I can throw down spells with Fane. Yeah, so one other thing. If you've noticed, she cast regeneration or restoration on what's it called? Restoration on Fane. Now, restoration only damages if you're an undead. Uh, how did she know that Fane was an undead? Right, so that should be the main question. And the reason why I say it should be the main question is because the way that you identify a target's stats in game is through the skill called Lore Master. Now, the NPCs have Lore Master as well, not just you. However, they have a lot more Lore Master than they should for this area. Basically, it works like this. If you're an undead, there is something called a masquerade game, which means that if you are fully clothed and you don't have any parts out in the open, that sounded bad, you basically fool everyone around you into thinking that you're just any other regular Joe. The fact that she had the ability to use her Lore Master skill from this range and detect that Fane is an undead shows that Larian, when they designed the NPCs, they figured that because the AI is not always that great, it should have an advantage. I'm guessing specifically on Tactician, in terms of correctly assessing the situation and the targets they're up against. Now, to be honest, not only me, but a number of other people have noticed this, and most people think it's unfair. And it's true. It is unfair, because based on the Lore Master skill, they can determine certain aspects of your targets, of their targets, I'm sorry, and they can use appropriate skills. It's nothing more than a cheating system, in my opinion. They only implemented this so that they make the AI appear more, I don't know, competent. It shows a flaw in the AI, in my opinion, and I think it should be lowered. Now, to that end, there is actually a mod online that... Come on, can we teleport? Not teleport, but fly anywhere in this area? Apparently not. Yeah, anyway, so like I said, it's mostly a cheat for the NPCs. It gives the impression that they're smart. They're not. Now, this mod that I found on the Nexus, if you don't know what the Nexus is, it's this massive community hub where you can find a lot of mods for a lot of prominent video games out there, including games like Skyrim and The Witcher 3, XCOM, a lot of stuff that you can find there. Now, there is this mod there called No More Psychic Enemies or something along those lines. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the author, but I'm gonna link it in the description if you guys want to test it out. It basically lowers the... Come on. It lowers the Lore Master skill for every NPC in the game, so that they no longer have this psychic ability of knowing everything about you on sight. Now, some may argue that, yeah, it's contrary to the design decisions made by Larian, that's cheating and whatnot. Honestly, no, I think it's a utility mod that should be used to make the game a bit more realistic in terms of its combat mechanics. That Magister shouldn't have known that Fane is an undead by any means, and she shouldn't have had the idea of using Restoration on him, because Restoration is a healing spell and it only damages the undead. So yeah, if you guys do play this game, I do recommend that you get that mod. It's pretty good. Okay. So I should be able to use this now. Perfect. Can I target her as well? Oh yeah, awesome. Perfect. So let's see, what else am I doing? Yeah, let's use clear-minded on the Red Prince. So anyway, that's those are just a couple of things on the game so far. The game system is much more complex than that, but I think it's something that maybe should be addressed in the actual game, not by a mod author. It seems to be quite, I don't know, it seems to be quite relevant in terms of like the gaming mechanic to not have it addressed by Larian. Yeah, let's just wait. See, so again, she casts Restoration on Fane. She shouldn't, like, honestly, in that situation, she should have cast Restoration on herself to get rid of the fire and heal, considering she doesn't have any more magical armor. So, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Let's turn her into a chicken just to be sure. Even though I atrophied, I don't want her to use any more spells. Yeah, so she's gonna be like that for some time. Yeah, let's try to actually get that archer over on this side. I wanna hit them both. Okay. Huh. Okay, they're both down to almost no physical armor, so this should be fine. Now they're knocked down, they're not gonna do anything next turn, so I still have one turn of bullhorns. Let's set them on fire again. Perfect. Now I have enough physical magical armor with the Red Prince, so it's not a problem if I hit him as well. Okay. Okay, this should be it. Awesome. Perfect. So that was an interesting fight. Honestly, harder than some of the other fights in Fort Joy. But yeah, I think there should be, yeah. I need to find the key. Oh God. Yes. Oh yes, so this is perfect. So that's one point into thievery that we can use. That's awesome. This necromancer ring should help out with our health regeneration. It's not much. So this these gloves, I can use them on a per situation type thing, so whenever we need some thievery I'm gonna switch them out, considering the gloves of teleportation are useful at the moment because we don't have enough memory points to just use teleportation by itself, even though I do have the skill. But yeah, so anyway, one of the main reasons that I wanted to go this route is not only to kill magisters, but actually get back the ShapeShifter helm for Fane. If you guys don't remember, the ShapeShifter helm was taken by that crazy old lady Wendigo, something like that, while we were on the ship, the prison ship headed to Fort Joy. When she destroyed everything and knocked everyone down, she stole the mask from Fane, and he's been trying to get it back ever since. And considering Fane is our only companion, to be honest, wait, what? I should have had a key, right? I know there's a key. So anyway, yeah, because he's our only companion and he's so hell-bent on getting that helm back, I want to do this for him. Kind of like, I don't know, a way of saying thank you. Okay, so this is the key. So the knight, the two-handed wielding knight that's over here, holds the key for this chest. Let's hope that Lucky Charm triggers. It did not. Okay, now, I said that the reason that I came here was for the Shapeshifter mask, and you may be wondering, well, where the hell is the Shapeshifter mask? Well, that's easy. This little island over here houses the crazy old lady that stole the mask. She's walking around here somewhere trying to cast some runes in the air or whatnot, and once we kill her, we'll have the Master Fane. I'm not gonna talk to her in this episode because this has been long as it is, but I just wanted to tell you guys something. So when like the way the game was created is very in depth, so you have a lot of in-game interactions that pertain to you or anyone that's interacting with an NPC being a specific race. If you remember, when we first entered Fort Joy, there was this crazy lady that still thinks that her daughter is alive. Her daughter's name was Emma or something. She's over here, and there's another guy that's sitting on this chair, and he tells us that the little girl was killed by Voidwoken about a month or two ago. The problem is, her losing her daughter kind of like made her bonkers. She lost her mind and she still thinks her daughter is alive and she's just missing for a day, and apparently everyone in Fort Joy is cruel and heartless and no one wants to help her. Now, regardless if that's the case or not, she will not speak with you or any of the characters that you use to interact with her if you're not of a specific race. For example, if you're a lizard, she's gonna say that her daughter is scared of lizards, she doesn't want you near her, and she's gonna like tell you to leave. So she won't actually give you the quest. If you use an elf, then she's gonna say that you're a cannibal and that you eat people and her daughter is scared of you and you should leave, so there's no quest. The one way I found is to either use Fane or any other undead human or a human. If you're a human, you can easily interact with her. She's gonna tell you what the problem is. She's gonna give you a doll if you ask for it. I'm guessing that's useful for the quest. I haven't figured out the quest just yet, but we'll see. But I think you guys get the point of what I'm talking about with the racial systems. So having the Shapeshifter mask back will allow Fane or the Red Prince to transform in any of the other three races, and that's going to give us the opportunity of interacting with some NPCs to the full extent of what they were designed to do. So quest lines, I don't know, useful information, or just like novelty stuff, I don't know, cool comedy stuff or whatnot. So it's very very useful. One thing to note, however, two things actually. The mask, when you use it to transform, it it not only makes you look as that race, it actually transforms you into that race. So it's weird. For example, with the Red Prince, you have the this racial ability, Dragon's Blaze, and you also have the sophisticated talent, which gives you fire resist and poison resistance, and spell song as well. Now, when you let's say we use the shapeshifter mask on the Red Prince and we transform into a human, these two things will disappear and they will be replaced with the racial trait from the racial ability from humans is the encourage ability, and you will also get like I think thrifty, I think it was, where you get +1 bartering, and I think that's it. The humans, yeah, are pretty lackluster. So yeah, you get the full advantage of that race, which I think is, I don't know, it's interesting. I sometimes thought that it may be a kind of like a limitation. So the way that the engine or the mechanics in game work, it would have been very difficult to make it so that you only look but not I don't know, not have the attributes or whatnot, even though that sounds a bit far-fetched. But it's a thing to consider, especially since I've seen how difficult it is to mod the game in certain aspects. It might be a limitation, who knows? Or maybe it's a design choice, even though I don't really get why they made it that way. Like just being able to not roleplay, but pretend that you're a different race would have been enough with the same racial abilities. But yeah. So anyway, in this episode, I talked my ass off trying to impart a lot of knowledge onto you guys if you ever decide to play the game, and if you stuck it out until the end, if you've reached this point, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Leave a like, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.